Harmless dump in by the Florida Panthers. Connor Hellebuyck leaves his crease to go ahead and play it. He moves around back behind the net in front. And oh my God, it's in the net. How the... Wise guy, eh? Well, I bet you can't do that a second time. Florida carries the zone, looking for space. Soft dump in. Puck brims around the boards. Connor Hellebuyck steps out to play it. Hellebuyck plays it behind the net. Puck goes out to the hash boards. It's out to the front of the net. It's in! That was basically the game and the story of the Florida Panthers versus the Winnipeg Jets. Welcome to the Worst Sports Channel on YouTube, Hot Garbage Sports with me, Coach Ryan T. Jets fans, Panther fan, look, Florida is one of the best teams in the NHL today. Take that to the bank, bar none. They are a top 3 team, and it's arguably top 3 in their division, which is ironic because top 3 in the NHL, top 3 in their division. It's one and the same. Carolina, Vegas, and Colorado join them in the elites of the NHL, but the Florida Panthers are something else. Their top 6 is amazing. Their bottom 6 is well rounded out. Their depth at defense is well known. And Sergei Bobrovsky, whether he's on the case or not, sometimes he has the propensity to be very good. Other times he lets in a bunch of bum pucks. Other times Adam Lowry, on a breakaway shorthanded, puts a puck between his legs. It squirts through and misses the net. It's not a shot on goal or a save. And Jets fans, NHL fans, Florida fans on this channel, Florida fan on this channel. No, there's more than one Florida fan. Quite a popular team. Now they're winning. Smash subscribe, smash like. We're on our way just past 4,000 subscribers. We couldn't have done it without all of you. I'm just mind blown. This channel is not even a year old yet. We've hit 4,000 in hockey, of all things. Let's be honest, hockey isn't the thing people go to YouTube for. Hockey is the 4th sport in North America, probably 10th sport if you include things like NASCAR and esports. Heck, probably even darts and pool. So we love it up here in Canada, but it's a small market, and the fact that 4,000 of you decided to join me on this, thank you so much. Let's keep it growing. Look, Jets fans, the Florida Panthers have given us all kinds of reasons as to what it means to build through the draft, build with depth. I mean, this team is absolutely stacked. Let's go ahead and take a look at their forwards. I mean, line 1 is obviously rounded out by the 2 monster players. That is Aleksander Barkov and Carter Verhaeghe. Look, Barkov is one of the best players in the NHL today. Remember that McKinnon, Jones, Druin talk? Barkov was right in there. It's pretty awesome when 3 out of the 4 top picks end up being this good in career players, because Aleksander Barkov is absolutely a franchise center, top 5 in the NHL right now. The guy is fantastic. Verhaeghe, one of the best left wingers in the leagues right now. And Maxime Mammon. I mean, you know exactly who this guy is, Jets fans. Look, this is the point I'm trying to make with this lineup. Maxime Mammon was picked 175th overall by the Florida Panthers. He's a 6th round pick. He's playing on the first line for the Panthers, and not because he's deserved of first line minutes, but because Florida has a very good propensity and a good belief in developing their own draft picks and their players alongside their veterans. So they don't go ahead and overstack lines or really worry about that. They develop the guys that are in-house. Mammon is just a guy that's played 1 year in the NHL. He's played all over the AHL, just exactly as you'd expect a 6th round pick to do. They trust him enough to go with the top 2 players because top players are supposed to be able to carry guys like this. Then you look down at the second line. Jonathan Huberdeau, the NHL All-Star, would have been Team Canada Olympic player. Line 1, likely. The guy is that good. One of the best wingers in the league. Top 4 in my opinion. Sam Bennett and Anthony Duclair. Bennett was the cast-off, the kid that couldn't do the chin-ups from the Calgary Flames, if you forget. Well, he has had a resurgence and an absolutely monstrously successful career down there in Florida. And Anthony Duclair, one of Team Canada's World Junior, just famous players, played up there in Detroit. Now he plays on a top 6 role with Florida. I mean, he had a stint in Arizona too, and that didn't help him. But it just shows a guy like Bennett and Duclair got full career resurgences here in Florida, while guys like Barkov, Verhaeghe, and Huberdeau carry them, and a guy like Maxime Mammon ends up coming in there. Now, Mason Marchment absolutely torched us tonight, along with Anton Lundell. You might remember Anton Lundell. He was picked number 12 in the same draft as Cole Perfetti and Seth Jarvis. So you had Perfetti at 10, you had Lundell at 12, you had Jarvis at 13. Really interesting to see the paths to the NHL here, but Lundell has been trusted in the Florida Panthers line before Perfetti was. I mean, you got to play play your guys, and Florida's just been doing that. So Lundell will eventually move up the roster, but he's a really nice third line player right here. And Marchment is just a journeyman NHL player. I mean, let's go ahead. Let's bring up this guy's career here. You got to point out the guy played on 3 OHL teams. I mean, this tells you right here that you're good. We like you. You add value. We just don't know where. So when you end up getting traded around the O, the Q, or the Western League like that, it's usually because teams are selling you off to a team that's trying to make a playoff run. They're in rebuilding mode. You're a little bit too old for them. And then he ends up coming into the AHL, has a stint with the Marlies. Well, before he got into the AHL, there was a little bit in the East Coast Hockey League there. He ends up moving to Florida, and look, here he is. I mean, he's playing for Florida, one of the best teams in the NHL on the third line. Potts 2 tonight. Hey, a little bit of help from Hellebuyck, but that's the way she goes. And then you take a look at Owen Tippett and Sam Reinhart. Well, Owen Tippett, again, he was a highly touted prospect. He was a first-line player there for Florida. He's a Canadian-born player. He plays the game the right way, but it's taken him some time to get used and acclimatized to the NHL, which is very odd because on this channel, we talk about all the time how wingers translate to the NHL game faster than anybody else, but he's only 22 years old. The first 3 years were a little bit of stumbling blocks, slow out of the gate, but now he's here in the NHL. He's playing some minutes, and shockingly, not everybody in the first round ends up making it in the NHL, never mind making it in the NHL big. So there's Tippett. I mean, you got to know all about their top 6 defensemen, especially their top 2. Aaron Ekblad has become one of the best defenders in the NHL. In my Olympic video, I said he wasn't going to make it, but that was before this season. This season, I'm pretty sure Ekblad would have been a lock to make Team Canada. It's just been a revelation back there, and Mackenzie Weegar is so darn good. One of the best left-handed defensemen in the NHL. Hits, block shots, goals, does it all. Brenden Montour, not a bad player. Gudis, not a bad player. I mean, they have depth all up and down the roster, but it's just interesting to take a look at their forward combination, their depth pieces versus ours. And why do I bring it up? Because our depth pieces tonight, well, they kind of blew it. They just weren't that good tonight. Look, Paul Stastny did not have a good game tonight. The third line did not do great. I mean, Lowry had some minutes, some moments, but wasn't great. And our fourth line was just absolute junk. And I know it doesn't help that Josh Morrissey ended up on the COVID list, but our defensemen, they have a lot of depth. They're just, I don't know what they were doing tonight. They were out there on some kind of Sunday skate, allowing guys to pierce right through the middle for Winnipeg. I mean, Brenden Dillon in the last moments of the first period, allowing Barkov behind him. Dillon was basically gliding while Barkov ends up shooting it top shelf. Ville Heinola ends up getting into the lineup, and he looks promising, but it's such a struggle, especially when you're watching him play with a guy like Nathan Beaulieu. Like, Beaulieu is just, he's a bad defenseman. He's a former first round pick. He's just bad. He's a bad defenseman. We already talked about Brenden Dillon didn't have a great game. Nate Schmidt has been in the slump amongst all slumps. Like, he is just not having a good time right now back there. Samberg looks fine. So you got Beaulieu, Heinola, and Samberg being anchored by Pionk, Dillon, and Schmidt. And when 2 out of those 3 top 4 guys, if you want to call it that way, end up playing that bad, it's not going to go well for the Jets. The Jets, again, struggle to score more than 3 goals. They need to be able to score 4. I mean, they let in 5, but again, it's a very elite team. The good news for the Winnipeg Jets, again, is that their penalty kill and their power play is just fantastic. I mean, the Jets' power play should almost be scoring more than it is, and Cole Perfetti, just absolutely filthy hands. Let's talk about Cole Perfetti for a minute. I mean, this kid here is one of the best playmakers in the NHL already. I'm saying it already. He has hands well beyond his years. Perfetti is able to do things with his head up, as you can see in this play. I mean, he doesn't look at the puck once, people. He is looking off Bobrovsky the entire time, and Pierre-Luc Dubois just has to stand there and bang this one in. Just a phenomenal play by Perfetti. I mean, this kid is that good. The amount of skill it takes and confidence it takes for a guy who's 160 pounds, soaking wet with rocks in his pocket, with a baby face, can't even grow facial hair yet at this point, to be able to stare down a goaltender like that, have hands the way he has it, no Dubois there out of his peripherals, and then beat a defenseman who lays down like that, all while not looking at the puck, is just incredible. This guy is totally legit. He's a total top 3 gamer. He is going to be a gem for the Winnipeg Jets. Dubois, Perfetti, and Connor. It's a locked in, stacked lineup. It's quite amazing what the Jets have found in Cole Perfetti. He's not going anywhere. I mean, take a look at this zone entry as well, too. Same thing. Perfetti, eyes up, Absolutely beautiful pass again. You can see it here frame by frame. It's eyes up. He is looking for the seam. He waits. He delays. Look, there's another defender in his lane again. It's eyes up again. It's eyes up again. And then it's just filthy, filthy sauce over to Kyle Connor for the goal. And guys like Connor and Dubois are going to love having this guy on their line. I mean, he is just going to feed them point after point after point. But at the end of that, that's about all that's good with this game. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. A lot of people saying Hellebuyck should never play the puck again. Why does Hellebuyck come out and play the puck? This is a very complex thing. The goaltender has to play the puck. Bottom line, hard stop. You cannot tell Connor Hellebuyck to not play the puck. That's not how the game of hockey works. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I've never seen this before. I have never seen a goalie have so many repeated terrible bounces, bad chances, just awful things happen to him when playing the puck like Connor Hellebuyck this year. Connor Hellebuck's puck handling skills, admittedly, not that good. Young goalies at home, this is why you got to work on handling the puck. Brenden, a goalie in the Jets system, has some of the best puck handling skills I've ever seen. And what a really great coach once told me, Stanley Cup winning one after that, he actually told me, he said, Ryan, when you're stuck picking goaltenders, you always pick the guy that is better at handling the puck if you have equal skill. So Brenden and Hellebuyck aren't equal, so this is Hellebuck's net. But Hellebuyck needs to play these pucks because you need to add the sixth player to this. They can create breakouts, opportunities, and there are full set plays made by goaltenders playing the puck. And there's actually full strategies built in with how you dump the puck and why you dump the puck in because of guys like Brodeur and Watt and how they broke the game by playing the puck, and it still remains true today. So let's go take a look at those few Connor Hellebuyck goals that end up going in. All right, so we'll see the puck being dumped in here. This is what we call a hard dump in, and you can see that just by the position this player has taken here. I mean, he's on one knee. He is firing this around, and the goal of this is to have the puck go all the way around and get picked up somewhere down here. You actually want to get the puck somewhere on this side. It's a far side wrap, and you can go ahead and see that Sam Bennett is going to anticipate this play and get down below here. That's why, like, Paul Stastny, I don't know what you're doing here. I get that it's a dump in, but you're on the wrong side of the puck. Stastny actually needs to be all the way over here on the right side of Bennett. It does actually end up costing us, but I mean, this is on Hellebuyck. So that hard dump in ends up coming around, and then it banks somewhere off the boards of the high post here, and Hellebuyck's stick ends up going from here all the way down to here. So we can see that Hellebuyck's stick is now on the ice. The puck is right down in here, and he's missed it. This isn't the way you're going to want to play this puck. Hellebuyck needs to get his full body against the boards here and ensure that he uses his entire big frame to block that puck. He gets a little bit cute with it. And remember what we talked about. Here's Sam Bennett. And by the way, here's Paul Stastny. Still on the wrong side of the puck. Somebody has to get down here and support Connor Hellebuyck. And this is another reason why the hard dump is a very strategic zone entry, and Florida is showing us exactly how to do it. It's just shocking that they end up getting a goal in off of this. So we can see a few frames later here, Sam Bennett easily picks up the puck here. Still nobody on the right side. Paul Stastny's behind my talking head. That forces Heinola to come in down from the middle, and now he has to take Bennett one-on-one. And Adam Lowry is now tied up in front of the net doing the defenseman's job. I'm not sure why. Nathan Beaulieu is here in no man's land now because Lowry has just decided, I'm going to play defense. I'm going to take this guy. Look, sticking with your guy is good, but Beaulieu, you can't just be this dumb that you go to the front of the net. Players got to be able to replace each other. So if Lowry's going to stick with his man, which he's allowed to, he's a supporting center, supposed to be down low helping, then Beaulieu needs to step up and take this middle spot. But again, Paul Stastny is right down here, and he made no effort for this. What you'd actually want to see here is Paul Stastny supporting Ville Heinola, and then Beaulieu and Lowry in front of the net. You should have Beaulieu down here in this battle. You should have Lowry pushing up to the top here, right there. You should have Heinola down here making a hit, and you should have Paul Stastny between the puck and the man no more than 2 feet away from Ville Heinola supporting. That would be correct defensive zone coverage, but everything's blown because Connor Hellebuyck missed the puck. And I mean, it's a fair assumption to assume he's going to get it, but this is still a hard dump. And a veteran like Stastny knows this can go one of two ways. I mean, the fact that he's so casual thinking this is going to happen and I'm just going to stick on my wall, That's not really like Stastny. And don't get me started on Heinola and Beaulieau in this. Like, I have no idea where either of them are going this entire game. The second play is what we call a soft dump in, meaning you don't want it to wrap behind the net. You actually want it to sit in the corner that you're throwing it to. This is one of the most difficult plays in hockey to make because usually the risk is it's going to roll around the boards. The goalie's going to have an easy pickup here, and the goalie's going to be able to make a breakout pass from that trapezoid. So it's actually a very dangerous dump in or zone entry. You usually want to do what's called a cross ice dump in, which means you're going to the opposite corner so the puck dead bounces in that corner, or a hard dump in so it rims all the way around behind the net and you can set up a play. But this one ends up working out, and it shouldn't work out because it's the most advantageous play for a goalie. But again, terrible bounce. So we can see here the Florida player gets the line. He's initiated a soft dump in here. I know you guys are going to love that term down below in the comments. And what happens is exactly what you would think happens. The puck ends up rolling around. We have kind of a slow dead puck here, and that puck is just going to trickle on to the trapezoid, which is exactly what you don't want to happen when you're making a dump in here, especially on a change before an icing, because if that goalie stretches the ice with a pass, there's two passes, you're up the ice with an odd man rush if you're Winnipeg, or if you're Winnipeg, it just goes in the back of your net. So there it is. A few frames later, Hellebuyck's got the puck easily behind the net. There's no bouncing, fumbling puck here. Trapezoid has worked well. And now you see the two forward pressure here from Florida. This is a very simple wrap it around the boards, and you should have an odd man rush at this point. You got three guys trapped down low. There's one just to the left of the referee on the top left of your screen that you can't see here, but there are three Florida Panthers just below the hash marks right now. You should be able to execute a 3-on-2 here. What ends up happening though is a foible of events. Our defenseman falls. The puck ends up in front, and Anton Lundell is able to score. Look, team, I don't know what you want me to say at this point. The first one, Connor Hellebuyck played it wrong. Stastny's in the wrong spot. That one, everything was played right. Just an absolute clown of events. Hellebuyck's got to be able to recognize, take a little bit of time here, make sure he's got support. I mean, I guess he could be that nitpicky, or you could just chalk it up to happens. At the end of the day, Jets fans, we played one of the best teams in the NHL in the Florida Panthers. There's stark differences between the both. Their bottom six is filled with former first-round draft picks that they've developed in-house in their own system. These aren't guys on PTOs that they're just bringing in from here and there. It's a very opposite system to Winnipeg when it comes to developing their talent, and it's clearly paying off. And this is also a team in just as much turmoil as the Winnipeg Jets. Yes, Winnipeg has to go through no fans in the arena, COVID-19, injuries, a Paul Maurice resignation, but he didn't resign in disgust. Remember, Joel Quenneville had to resign in disgust over the Kyle Beach incident. You don't think that didn't get to this team? It did. So it was the battle of two interim head coaches. The interim head coach from Florida ends up winning it, and he's been doing an absolutely bang up and fantastic job. It's just because the players and the combination of players down here works. But I mean, no surprise. Combination of wily veterans with great budding prospects and guys that have been developed within their own system. Winnipeg has developed a lot of guys within their own system too. We just never really give them a chance to play up. And then today, Stastny, Harkins, Vesalainen, like it was an ugly game by them. It's usually not that ugly, but that was pretty ugly. And you can chalk some of that up to the fact that some of these guys just don't get to play in the same opportunities that guys like Florida get to play in. But at the end of the day, we're going to talk tomorrow in our video about the Jets. The Jets are going to need to make a hockey trade here, team. Like, the combination just may not be it. Anyways, thanks for checking it out. Smash subscribe, smash like. We appreciate you being here with us. Go Jets, go.